Hey, what's going on? A pluses, nerd mixes. It's your boy Indy Uchiha, man, and I'm geeked. I may not look it because it's early in the morning, but I am geeked. Last night we had AEW Full Gear 2021. We had the culmination of a 2-year long storyline among other incredible things happening, and I must say that barring a few things that I felt could have been done better, looking at you, Cody Rhodes, this was an interesting, interesting, interesting development for the future of what AEW is going to be. Now, um, I just want to get they had I want to get into this. The free match that they had was very good. You know what I'm saying? A tag team match where you had Sheeta and Thunder Rosa, you know what I'm saying, teaming up. And I didn't watch any of it. To be totally honest with you, I was at work. I didn't get off work until like 7 o'clock. So I missed the entire match and I did not go back and watch it because it was not part of the main event. But but I digress. Man, they jumped the pay-per-view off in an interesting way with two of the pillars of AEW. And the crowd was hot. The crowd was hot for all of this. And although that like MJF is known for his mic skills, right? He's not known for what he can do in between the ropes. And I really feel like Darby Allin, who is known for taking risk and what he does in the ring, was able to work with MJF and let them put on like a great match. And this was a bar setter for what was going to be the rest of this show. Um a lot of there was a lot of spots. There was a suicide dive where like Darby went full speed at MJF that just showed you how physical this match was going to be. The second rope stunner that he did, the leapfrog power bomb, the tombstone pile driver that MJF did. Uh that got it was a tombstone pile driver by MJF on the edge of the ring apron, and then it was a cold red reverse by MJF into another power bomb, and then it was finally that cold red that Allen, you know what I'm saying, was able to reverse into a lot of headlocks. It was a lot going on in this match. Even the Pinnacle tried to interfere in the match and here comes Sting, wasn't having none of it. You know what I'm saying? Laid the Pinnacle out. The chairman met Sting when it came to that, man. And MJ, the cool thing I thought about this was the whole thing with MJF wanting to break Darby Allin and Darby Allin not breaking. I kind of felt that this was going to be. I kind of felt like MJF would do something underhandedly to win the match, but in the end, he would not break Darby Allin, and breaking Darby Allin would be Darby Allin losing control and hitting MJF with that skateboard. He handed the skateboard uh to the I think he put it down. I don't remember he handed it to him. He gave it to the referee so the referee could discard it. And then MJF went into his trunks, got that dynamite diamond ring, pow. And then the next thing you know, 1, 2, 3. This match was excellent. Um MJF has to be like one of the top heels in wrestling. Am I right or am I wrong? Just let me know if I'm wrong. He's one of the top heels in wrestling, but tonight he showed on that he could put on a good match. Darby Allin does what he does all the time, takes all the bumps, helps the other wrestler look good. But think about Darby Allin, losing doesn't hurt him. He's young. He has a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, to build in this company. A really good match. I gave it a B. Then we went on to the Lucha Brothers, defending against FTR. FTR came out, great ring entrance music. Then you had the Lucha Brothers come out with this amazing entrance. Really showing, you know what I'm saying, a really championship welcome when it comes in. Lucha Brothers have incredible theme music, by the way, and I just love the way their ring work and what they do. Um, I This wasn't as good as the match with the Young Bucks. It's going to be really, really hard to surpass that match for a while. Is it You got to put on one hell of a tag team match to beat what the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks did in that cage. Um and the finish with this was weird. You know what I'm saying? FTR are the AAA champs. Lucha Brothers are the AEW champs. It was only AEW titles on the line here. Um and it just seemed weird. I don't know if this was done under AAA rules. You know what I'm saying? When one person goes out the ring, the other person comes in. It seemed like the ref had nothing to do in this match. It was just them going. Nobody was going to get disqualified. I have no idea what the rules of this match were supposed to be. It was a pretty decent match. Um, when FTR was able to like mellow out what was going on, I guess slow it down. You ended up getting like lot of like 1980s, early late 1970s power moves and mat work that were keeping the the Lucha Brothers, my bad, that were keeping the Lucha Brothers down. They couldn't get the acrobatic offense in. And anytime you keep Phoenix grounded and he can't fly around, he becomes a lot less of a threat. So it was a contrast of two styles in this match. A lot of great spots. Cash Wheeler landed a shot with the AAA title on Phoenix. Hardwood hit a brain buster for like 2.9 with it was like 1, 2, and right before that hand hit, you got the kick out. Um, there was a weird spot where like Phoenix like jumped off hardwood and after eating a spike pile driver to splash on Wheeler. Uh, even but the, everything I think I was cool with this match except for what happened at the end. It was like FTR went under the ring to put the mask on so they could disguise who the legal man was in the ring. But it was like Penta and Phoenix like knew what was going on. They hit Wheeler with a spike pile driver, and then 1, 2, 3 got the win. I get it's a B, maybe even a B plus. It was an entertaining match, but it was just hard to follow. You know what I'm saying, to see what was going on. You had the great Brian Danielson against Miro next, and I'm telling you, since Miro's been at AEW, um, I really feel like he's doing a great job. Even if you want to say he's in the mid card, he's a threat for anybody he wrestles. It feels like nobody takes him lightly, and with people like John Moxley taking a hiatus, uh, it's a great spot for somebody like Miro. Miro's able to step right into that type of spot, and so this was the final match for the tournament to see who would be the number one contender. Um, it was like super strength versus technical wrestling, and Miro was beating the crap out of Brian Danielson. And this whole match, it felt like Miro was going on to be the number one contender. And watching this match, it kind of made sense because if later on you were gonna have Hangman go over uh Kenny Omega, it made sense that Miro would be his first test because do you have Hangman beat Brian Danielson? Would is it going to because I in all rights and to think about it, it or it's weird because you have Kenny and Brian come to a time limit draw, right? I understand if Hangman beats Kenny. We know Kenny is the best wrestler in the world. He's a wrestling god. He's the best bout machine. He's number one in PWI, right? And he took Brian Danielson to a time draw. So even if Hangman pulls out the win, do you feel like Hangman can beat Daniel Bryan? Or is it because of like what they were playing in this match, that Bryan has been taking so many matches on, wrestling so many competitors, that sooner or later he's going to get worn down and that person's going to get him. So maybe it's that, because Daniel Bryan, I feel, is wrestling week in, week out, no matter the show, getting it in. It's kind of opposite of what CM Punk is doing, right? But Miro used a lot of his physicality to cut off Danielson and just try to get out of his attempts for submission wrestling. A very, very well done and set up match that showed kind of like each one of their talents and what was going on, right? And it really showed me how to really use wrestlers, because we saw these two wrestle in the WWE, and this was by far the best match that I've seen these two do, right? So the match had a lot of back and forth. One of the best spots to me was when Miro countered a running knee with a power bomb for a near fall. Uh and he's Miro asked, you know what I'm saying, like he put his hands up to his God to like finish his opponent and then put over the and to get on the game over submission. But Bryan got to the ropes, escaped, and then slapped on the label lock. Miro was able to get out of that by using power, got into a little bit of ground and pound, but then Danielson threw on a triangle choke, and then Miro, which I thought was really dope, like gouged out his eyes to escape. Um, they exchanged strikes. I love the fact that Miro was like putting his hands up. It was like, kick me, kick me. And then every time he kicked Daniel, he was putting Daniel down, but Daniel would kick him twice, and it was like wasn't even affecting him. Miro carried him over to the corner and attempted a superplex, but Bryan reversed it. Of course, this is a target on Miro. Tornado DDT on the bad neck for a pinfall finish. And the whole thing with Miro having a bad neck and that being his Achilles heel was really dope to me. And I want to see these two wrestle again. This got the best grade of the night for me so far with an A. And man, they put on a hell of a match. And from beginning to end so far, it's been a really good pay-per-view. Jurassic Express, Christian Cage against Adam Cole, baby, and the Young Bucks. So the Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian. This match went on a little bit too long. I'm gonna let that know. It's a street fight, falls count anywhere. There was a lot of action, but the match just drug on. Jungle Boy not wanting to use weapons, wanting to win the right way, was one of the storylines going into this. Of course, Adam Cole Bebe was the first to bleed. It's the Bucks, so it's going to be a spot fest. There's going to be a lot of different spots and stuff going on. Nick to me is a very Nick Jackson is a very underrated wrestler. And some of him and the battle that Christian had throughout the arena, even when Christian like dived off of the upper area onto them, the spot where Luchasaurus did the standing moonsault off of the stage onto everybody, the thumbtacks, when the Super Click took the thumbtacks, put them in Jungle Boy's mouth while Adam Cole had the submission on Jungle Boy, and then they kicked him in the mouth. I thought Jungle Boy was out. I thought he was out. The stereo super kicks with the thumbtacks in his mouth. But Christian broke up the pin. I thought you weren't going to see Jungle Boy for the rest of the match. They battled, they like fought their way up the entrance ramp. Cole hit a Panama Sunrise on the stage for a near fall. Then he ran and he got thumbtack knee pads, and all three of the Super Click put him on, and they hit a three-way BTE trigger on Luchasaurus with thumbtack knee pads, but Jungle Boy broke up the pin. That's when Luchasaurus went for the shooting star press off the stage, and then Christian took out the Bucks. He set up a concerto. Jungle Boy said, "Nah, let me do it. Let me do it." And they played it well, because I thought it was going to be Jungle Boy deciding he didn't want to do it, and then that's when the Jurassic Express team was going to end up losing. But Jungle Boy hit him with that concerto, bow, and then pinned him for the 3. Again, this match was okay, but it just went on too long. Any match you got the Bucks and Cole in, and Jungle Boy is going to be top notch, right? 4 incredible talents. Not to take anything away from Luchasaurus and Christian, but man, Jungle Boy is one of the 4 pillars of what AEW is going to become. The Bucks put on great matches, and Adam Cole is Adam Cole. So I gave that one a B. Pac, Cody Rhodes, Andrade, El Idolo, Malachi Black. I didn't give 2 craps about this match, to be totally honest with you. I can give a crap about anything Cody Rhodes is doing right now. I have no idea what they're doing with this character. I have no idea what this match had to do with furthering a storyline. I don't know if Andrade's in the House of Black. I don't know if Malachi is trying to put together a House of Black. Cody's being booed. Cody is being booed in a bad way, and he's not turning into John Cena for me, because he doesn't have half the crowd cheering him, half the crowd booing him. The entire crowd is booing him, and I feel like at times they're wasting Pac. Pac should have been Pac should have been TNT champion by now. I don't even really want to go over this match. Pac ended up picking up the win. Cody seemed out of place. The storytelling in this match I never understood. I never understood what was going on, what the story built around these wrestlers were. It's like I think they said on like Sporting News that the question is no longer if, but when Cody Rhodes' heel turn would happen. He stepped up and said he didn't want to become heel. Heel Cody Rhodes is what we need. I think he had a heel run in New Japan or ROH. I can't remember which one it was, but the heel run he had was amazing. We need heel Cody Rhodes bad, because this Cody trying to be the superhero is not happening. Pac pulled off a 450 splash for a near fall. Malachi pulled Cody Cody into a diving Pac. Then hoping that would cause a rift between them. Nope. The match played out. Pac eventually hitting a Poison Rana and a Black Arrow on Andrade for the win. D. Just gave this match a D, because the match just didn't make any sense to me. I have no idea where the story is going with this, and there is way too much talent in this ring to have an okay match. So I gave it a D. Britt Baker, DMD, versus my future wife, Tay Conti, for the AEW Women's Championship. When I say Conti, my voice just changes. I can't say Tay Conti aggressively. Like, my voice has to soften a little, and I really have to let y'all know just how amazing Tay Conti is. They built this up a lot over Conti's background, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, different belts she holds. Just building her up as the biggest threat that Britt Baker has faced. You know what I'm saying? Conti going from NXT, and where they had her there, working herself up to a title match at AEW is great. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like I don't know if they got this one right. It just feels like they didn't get this one right. Conti got in a lot of offense. She took like a crazy brutal air raid crash that looked like it hurt really badly. And the crazy thing was that the crowd felt like they was a little bit burnt out. But when Conti took that air raid crash, the crowd came right back into what was going on. She escaped a couple of lockjaw attempts. She hit a TKO. She hit a Gotch style pile driver for near falls. But then you got DMD's crew interfering with everything to slow things down. And I feel like the interference kind of took away from the match. Because I feel like if you're going to have Brent Baker win this match, let her win this one on her own. The heel that needs help when she's beat other people one-on-one who are deemed to hold stronger spots than Tay Conti just seem weird. You know what I'm saying? Very weird to me. But that led to a curb stomp on the steel steps, a second curb stomp, and a lockjaw. Conti still got to the ropes, avoided another curb stomp, and hit a bicycle kick. Baker to the outside. Conti hit a moonsault to the outside on Rebel and Jamie Hayter to take them out. She hit a DDT. I don't know how to pronounce that. A DDT for near fall, and it was just a slow pinning experience, that sequence that saw Baker pull the victory. And although Britt Baker might be champ, she can't have matches like this. The matches have to be better than this. I gave this a C. Tay Conti will be back. There's a lot going on in the women's division, and I feel like when that TBS title gets into motion after this tournament is over with, you'll see a lot more fairness, you know what I'm saying, going on. Because I see that TNT title getting passed around more than I see the TBS title passed around more than I see the AEW women's title passed around. Now, the CM Punk and Eddie Kingston match, I was waiting on, right? I was waiting on this. And after the column that Eddie Kingston had in the Players Tribune, it really put a lot of build behind this match with everything he went through. And there was times in this match where CM Punk was just getting booed because everybody was behind Eddie Kingston. So the way they built up this match on a short amount of time was excellent, right? They kind of moved Punk away from being a baby face and put him back into that tweener role that he's most famous from, that everybody knows Punk for, and kind of when he has his best matches, right? And this wasn't a wrestling match. This was a fight with wrestling moves like every once in a while. Kingston wasn't interested in wrestling at all, and Punk came out and tried to wrestle like before the match even started, spinning back fist that had Punk out. If that bell rang before that happened, Punk would have lost this match in under 20 seconds. They ended up just killing each other with stiff strikes, power moves. Like I said, Punk ended up getting booed a lot as the crowd got behind Kingston, who would even bust Punk open, man. Like Punk's been bleeding a lot since he got to a lot more than he ever did in WWE since he got to AEW. Punk bleeds almost every big match. So they cut loose. They definitely went in. They told a great story that made sure they kept everybody into what was going on with the match. Punk, they even had a call back to like his rival with John Cena with the 5-knuckle shuffle setup, but Kingston met that with a middle finger. There were plenty of middle fingers. There were plenty of FUs in this match. Punk hit a 3 amigos in honor of the late Eddie Guerrero. And then that followed by Punk and Kingston meeting in the middle of the ring with fist and more middle fingers. There was a lot of disrespect going on in this match. Punk somehow hit a GTS, but was too tired to actually make the pin. Kingston missed the spinning back fist, and then Punk realized that he had to put him down, right? So Punk clobbered him with Punk went straight MMA. Elbows, knees, while the crowd is just boo. But like it wasn't so much they were booing for Punk as much as they were supporting Kingston. Punk hit another GTS to end the match. After the match, Punk put his hand out. Kingston refused the handshake, and Punk smiled while blood streamed down. So it's an amazing picture that you guys see online right now with Punk like with his hand up with blood just going down. This was probably the best storytelling entirely on the card other than the main event, and I get us an A because for short build they did an excellent job in putting Punk in kind of a tweener role to get him to that transition on what everybody else liked. So, and it didn't do any disservice to Eddie Kingston at all, man. And I would love to see them go at it again, or even this turn into a Moxley when Moxley gets back, taking up for his friend and possibly, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one with Punk. So we'll see what goes on with that. I'm glad that they're keeping Punk away from the title scene and just having him go have great matches with talent. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I'm glad they're really doing. Brian being in the title scene doesn't bother me as much because he deserves it more to me than Punk. Punk just looks like he's enjoying wrestling and enjoying having matches with these great talents. Inner Circle defeated Man of the Year in America Top Team. I do not care about this match at all. Junior DeSantos had some great spots, standing moonsault, power slams, but it eventually ended with Lambert being pinned, I believe, by Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? You had a great swanton off a ladder by Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God. There was a lot of spots. You got to see how good of a tag team Santana Ortiz was. I had no idea what the big man from the Inner Circle was doing. I always forget his friggin' name. But there was nothing really going on in this match to me. That I kind of felt like Lambert was put in the match just to take the loss. But it was a spot fest. It was all right. The best thing that happened after the match when the former Ring of Honor champion Jay Lethal announced that he had joined AEW and directly challenged Guevara to TNT title match on Dynamite this Wednesday. We have Jay Lethal versus Sammy Guevara, and I kind of want Lethal to win, to be totally honest with you. I want Lethal to bring like a whole stable in. Like I know y'all saying we need more stables in all of the yes. If it's gonna be a Jay Lethal led stable, we need more stables. I want Jay Lethal and everybody from Ring of Honor just to be in a stable together. I really want that. That was a shock to me. They get that he came out to the Black Machismo music, man. I can look. This has hyped me for Dynamite so bad, yo. But this match gets like a D. Yeah. The hype is for Wednesday when it comes to that, and I'm glad that they haven't forgot that Sammy is the TNT champion, and he's actually going to defend his title. Then we come to the championship match. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. Now, remember, Hangman was the one who had the first shot at being the first ever AEW champion, and he lost to Chris Jericho, which was the best move for the promotion, to be totally honest with you. I'm going to read this verbatim that I took off a website because I love the way they said this. From the first official AEW event, the company has focused heavily on building Page into the ace of the promotion. By denying him the inaugural AEW championship against Chris Jericho and having him lose to Omega in the number one contender tournament last year, it managed to slow Page to becoming someone who fans would salivate over to become champion. It did a fantastic job of this. The only thing left is to finally put the title on him. And AEW did just that in finally giving Page his crowning moment in a match that was built towards a fantastic and surprising finish. The Young Bucks giving their approval to Page to finish off their friend. Yo, the story that they told so quickly isn't just about Kenny and Page, the tag team, the division, Page costing the Young Bucks the tag team titles, the Young Bucks costing Page his shot. You know what I'm saying? It's him coming out last week apologizing to the Bucks, saying we should be even now, but don't interfere in my match. Kenny getting interference from Don Callis. The Bucks coming out looking like they were going to help Kenny, but sitting there and just and Matt of all, Matt, not Nick. This was an important thing because Matt and Hangman didn't get along for a long time. Matt nodding in approval, not Nick, to say, do it. Now, Kenny Omega deserves a much needed break. Especially for carrying that belt, what was like 346 days, almost a friggin' year, if not a year. And not only doing that, he was running double duty because he was the the Impact champion, and I think he held a triple. I think he held like a AAA title or something. Like he held like a bunch of belts at one time. He had like 4 belts. It's time that the best bout machine needs a break. And it was just perfect storytelling for Paige to be able to do this. And I love the fact that Paige and Omega, they played it like they knew each other well, and they wouldn't fall for the old tricks. You had Paige hit Omega with a one-winged angel that Omega kicked out of. You know what I'm saying? Uh the flying lariat that he did off the ring post when he took the camera off to through the table. You know, the, Omega puts on great matches and makes everybody look good, right? The Don Callis interference, Omega's attempts at using the title, uh, and then being nailed like Deadeye, the referee getting knocked out, and Aubrey Edwards having to race down to count a near fall, um, the multiple V triggers, and then Paige intercepting a V trigger and turning it into offense. Just them knowing each other, and then it taking two buckshot lariats to take Kenny Omega down for the pin. It's a great story being told. Even though I don't feel like it was a classic wrestling match, it was a classic story. You know what I'm saying? Because hands down, Kenny Omega is a better wrestler than Hangman Page. But Hangman Page fighting through that adversity and being able to right the wrongs that were done to him and become champion was just an amazing long-term storyline, man. B plus. But in the waiting, because Paige doesn't have any time, you know what I'm saying, to enjoy the fact that he's the new AEW champion. I think he's the 4th champion in the history of AEW. He's got Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, as his first test as champion. How long will he be able to hold on to that belt? Right? You had the Dark Order come out. They all embraced. So I don't know if that seems like he's finally accepting, you know what I'm saying, of them being his friends type deal. And although I thought it was an interesting complex of what was going on, the Bucks helped Kenny Omega to the back. They didn't go in to celebrate with their friend. So I can tell you one thing, being the Elite BTE on YouTube is going to be very interesting this week. It's going to be very interesting. They gave let's go with the full card and the times they had on the card. The championship match, the finale was 25 minutes 35 seconds. They gave the women 15 minutes, a little bit over, almost 15 and a half. Bryan Danielson and Miro got 20 minutes. The Inner Circle got just under 20 at 1952. The tag team match was 1836. Darby Allin and MJF got 22 minutes. So they were right under the time for the championship match. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston got 11. They gave that Cody Rhodes match way too long, 16 minutes. That match should have been like 10 minutes and over. And they gave Christian Cage and Jurassic Express 22 minutes. That was a little bit too long too. They could have cut that to 18 and it probably would have had a better impact on the match. But what do you guys, how did you guys feel about Full Gear? I enjoyed it. It was worth the money. Let me pick Matt back up. Let me pick Matt back up right quick. He don't need to be laying down. They put on a good match. It was interesting. It hyped me for the future, and I think that's what they wanted to do because I'm so hyped to watch Dynamite this Wednesday just to see what the fallout, you know what I'm saying, from the pay-per-view was going to be. And I'm very, very excited about that. So you guys let me know what you thought about that. What was your favorite match of the nights? Mine probably was that the Hangman Kenny match. I love every match that Kenny puts on. So you guys let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Are you looking forward to Jay Lethal versus Sammy Guevara? Because look, yo, I might watch it. I might record it so I can watch it again. We might have to talk about Dynamite this week. I know I normally only do pay-per-views and like special events, but we might have to talk about Dynamite this week. So you guys let me know if y'all want to go live after Dynamite to talk about what's happening. Until next time, as always, keep it A+. This has been a Nerd Mix. I'm going to let Adam tell you guys how you can join the Patreon.
If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.